Hello, everybody, and this is Jimmy. And today I'm doing my first solo podcast. Mr. Dust is not available this evening, so tonight I'm gonna discuss the investors released by Nintendo, or they happened earlier this week, the NX release, and also the delay of the new Zelda game, and what all this means for Nintendo, and at least from my humble opinion. So earlier this week, Nintendo released their annual investors results and prognosis of the upcoming year. And one of the things they discussed, we're going to start with Zelda, is that they're pushing Zelda back the release date. It was announced last year that it was going to be released this year. Everybody was hoping towards the traditional November, towards the holidays for one push, having a help push the sales for the Wii U for these upcoming holidays. But unfortunately, now it's been said that it's gonna be pushed back to March next year to be a dual release for the new NX coming out and for obviously the Wii U. And personally, I think that's it's kind of sad. It's like a smart move and yet a sad move at the same time. It's a sad move because for Wii U owners who've been waiting for this game for 3 years now, we had to wait yet another year basically. Now, again, for Wii U owners, that's not really a good news to hear, especially because this year the lineup for Wii U games is pretty much empty. By now, there's a couple of games coming up. For instance, that what's it called? There's an RPG game. I forgot the name of it. I'll find out later the name. But anyway, there's a new RPG game coming up, and sure there are some eShop games that are also going to be filling the void for the remainder of the year. But main retail games by Nintendo or third parties are probably two or three, if that, coming out. So Zelda was going to be like the final big push for the Wii U to encourage sales for the console coming out, but now that's not going to happen. So I think we can pretty much say that when it comes to retail, the Wii U is basically you know dying, or if not dead by now. And as a Wii U fan or as a new Wii U owner, it's kind of saddening for me that they're not releasing it, because it's not the main reason that one buys the console, but for people that have been waiting for that Zelda U to come out and then having it delayed, it's kind of a little bit of a slap in the face, because now they have to wait another year. And who knows, there's even talk that Zelda U, at least for the Wii U, might be what's it called, vaporware. They might just completely opt out to release for the next. I mean, those are kind of like dark rumors going on, but unfortunately, I mean, it most likely is going to be just like Twilight Princess. But you know what happened with Twilight Princess? Twilight Princess was first announced for the GameCube, then it got released on Wii, and even the GameCube release, in order to favor the Wii release and the Wii version to push the Wii sales, the GameCube version got delayed like 2-3 more months. So I'm afraid that as a Wii owner, that's going to happen, because just because I'm a Nintendo fan and I know I'm going to be buying the NX when it comes out, a lot of people are not going to be the same way. So all those people that I just have the Wii U are not planning to buy the NX on launch day. If they want to play this Zelda, they might actually have to wait an extra few months, because I'm sure Nintendo's gonna probably do something similar as they did with the U to push the sales for the Wii for the NX. They're gonna probably release the NX with the new Zelda U as a launch title, and they're gonna push back Zelda U for the Wii U in order to help the sales for the NX. Now, as for the NX, the NX is going to be supposedly be released on March what's it called, March 2017. That's where the president of Nintendo. Let me get this out because I don't want to mispronounce his name. Mr. What's his name? Tatsumi Kimishima. Okay, the president of Nintendo. He said that in the investors meeting, that what's it called, the investors briefing, that the NX is going to be released on March, missing totally the 2017 holiday window. Now, from a consumer perspective, that is, I feel it's a bad move as a consumer because most consumers they do the compulsive shopping, and it is compulsive shopping around the holiday season because they want to buy whatever new gadgets are out for the family, the kids themselves. And by March, well, you're pretty much dried up. You're recovering for the bills for all those credit cards. Spending all that money during the holidays. So it doesn't seem like a smart move on Nintendo. The president of Nintendo says that the main reason why they're doing it is because they want to have a strong lineup at release. They don't want to have a weak lineup based on what happened to the Wii U. Well, the Wii U, honestly, the Wii U did not suffer from a weak lineup. It had a very nice release lineup. I think there were like 20, like 25, 30 games at launch, and a lot of those titles were really nice titles. Sure, some of those titles were older titles like Mass Effect 3, but there was still a strong title back then. Of course, we had FIFA, we had Madden, we had Call of Duty. Of course, we had what's it called? I forgot which other games, but I mean, the point is that it had a really decent, strong lineup at launch. The main reason for the Wii U, I mean, it's not because of the software at the beginning of the launch. So here they're making it sound like the NX is going to have a stronger lineup when it reaches in March, and missing I do not know. I mean, obviously we do not know what's going on behind doors with Nintendo, but I don't feel there is really a software issue that they're trying to come up with games, because I mean, really, how many more games are you going to be able to release between or to produce between November and March? It's no games, good quality games, especially Nintendo games, take years to develop. So I think there is something else going on here. Perhaps some hardware manufacturing issues, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But software, I don't really think that's the real reason, and that's the reason they're trying to sell to us. That's why they're delaying it. Again, personally, think it's a bad move. Also, what's it called? Probably Nintendo is maybe fearing that they cannot compete with the new hype that there is the 3D. I mean, not the 3D, the virtual reality attachments that Sony's coming out with. So the rumors that the new PS4 4K is coming out in December. The Wii U has only sold 12 million units, to date. They probably feel that because of the commercial failure of the Wii U, that they're not in position to compete with the launch of a new console at this point in time of the game. Now, also another thing that Nintendo's announced or that at least news outlets have been saying that Nintendo announced is that they're not showing anything about the NX during E3. E3 is the biggest video game electronic expo of the year, at least in North America, and they're not showing the NX. I mean, that is insane. I mean, they want to keep the lid so tight on the NX, maybe because they're afraid that the competition might come out with something and steal their ideas for their future consoles or whatnot. But I think it's also a huge mistake because they're not creating that what's it called? They're not teasing us with what the next NX is going to be about. I mean, if they were to release it, people will be like, man, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be this. The NX is going to have this, or might have that, or the power might be this. And we just have gotten a couple of things here and there, but they're not going to release anything. So we're still going to be with not knowing what's going on with that. Then they're going to announce it later on. They didn't say later on when, if in this year or the next calendar year, after the holidays or before the holidays. I mean, we don't know what's going on with the NX. Publicity and advertisement is everything in this era, and they're not doing anything of that. Again, maybe because they're afraid that Sony or Microsoft might steal their ideas or come up with something of their own. But I mean, they need to show something, and they need to start showing something, glimpses. I mean, it's only March still. I mean, April, and we're still a whole year out. But I mean, they gotta still start giving people something to just look forward to. Just NX and a couple of a couple of little stats here that it has maybe I mean like it has 4K potential, or that it has what's it called, sensor bar. Just those things is not really enough to give us a good glimpse of what's coming up. And Nintendo needs to get on the ball with that. When they launched the Wii, they had such a huge publicity campaign. I mean, that remember those two Japanese guys that they would go to the door and say that, we would like to play. I mean, that was amazing. That was an amazing advertising campaign that got everybody excited about the Wii. And they need to come up with something like that for the NX. Otherwise, it's gonna be the first mistake that they're gonna make, just like with the Wii U. The Wii U had a very poor ass advertising campaign. You know. But anyway, again, why they're missing the holiday season, I don't know. I mean, it might seem like a smart move for them. Maybe they want to start anew with a fiscal year. I mean, who knows? But I personally don't think it's a smart move. The holiday season is the biggest selling season of the year, so they're gonna miss the biggest window. You know. I mean, still, I don't think it's a good strategy to release a console. I mean, we've seen how their portables have been doing, the 3DS and the 3DS XL, the new 3DS, how they released in March, and they did not do that well in the beginning. So, the new NX might suffer the same fate, depending also what Nintendo's doing in regards to what's new with the console. I think that, if anything, what Nintendo should be doing different, is not really releasing on outside the launch window because of software. I think what Nintendo needs to keep in mind, that I think the main reason why the Wii U failed was because it was too different in the architecture. We said this again. We're talking about a console that is, I don't want to say inferior by any means, but it's different than the PS4 and the Xbox One. So developers like to just do things quick and easy, because this is a business of making money. And if they can just apply the same they cannot apply the same cookie cutter techniques that they did with the PS4 and the Xbox One with the Wii U, because the Wii U was using the older architecture of the 360 and the PS3. So what Nintendo needs to do is to come on par with the architecture as the other two consoles, whether they like it or not. They need to, so that way, to please the third parties like Activision and EA and everything, so they can do the cookie cutter um, um, developing strategy, so they can minimize the cost for them, so they can entice them to bring games to Nintendo console. Because, I mean, you can't tell me that that is going to be the same for developers to develop for the PlayStation virtual reality headset, because it's an extra peripheral, just like the Wii U gamepad it was. So you can tell me they're not going to come with the same problems to develop for that as they did with the Wii U. The only difference is that the architecture is the same for the Xbox One and the PS4. So it's going to be easier for them to still develop for those two consoles than it was to develop for the Wii U versus the other console. So I think, if anything, Nintendo needs to come up with the same architecture on par as the PS4 and Xbox One, and that alone is going to be a huge leap towards enticing developers into bringing games to the Nintendo console, third parties. And you know what? The IP lineup for Nintendo is very strong, and they need to start making more games out there. I mean, we know that Nintendo loves quality over quantity. That's why their games take 3-4 years to develop, and that's fine. But like right now, they have what's it called? They have Retro Studios mothballing. I don't know if we don't know if they're making any games. They might be, they might not be. But so far, at least from our perspective, they're mothballing. The last thing that they came out with was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and that was like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And what have they come out with ever since? I don't remember anything. The same thing with Platinum Games. I mean, they have used Platinum Games for 3 games already in this past couple of years. They helped with Star Fox, and they did Bayonetta 1 and 2. They did what's it called? the Wonderful 101, and they just been doing games for Nintendo, and Nintendo needs to utilize all those extra studios that they have at their disposal to create more steady games for them. Retro Studios has shown that they can develop Nintendo games, excuse me, quality Nintendo games, and of course Platinum Games again, with Star Fox has shown that they can do it as well. So they need to trust the studios more to come out with first party, games on a steady basis. Plus they're obviously their own internal developer companies. The rumor has it also that Zelda U is going to be the only playable game at the floor at E3. I mean, what is going on? Nintendo's totally shutting down. They're not showing anything because they don't have anything for Wii U anymore. Everything is NX, and because they're not showing NX at E3, they're not showing any games. They're keeping a really tight lid on the NX, and it's becoming, and it is frustrating. As for me, as a consumer, as a Nintendo fan, it is frustrating to see how they are just totally shutting everybody out. You know, I understand they want to keep away from the, I guess the competition to stealing ideas and stuff. But I mean, the consumers, we are the ones that pay the money to buy the console, not the competition. What? I mean, of course, the Sony president, he has two Wii U's, but anyway, that's besides the point. The point is that they need to give us something to look forward to, and we're not getting anything. We just all that we get is just frustration and just increasingly frustrating. But anyway, again, leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let me know what you think, and thank you everybody for watching. Please hit that share, like, and subscribe buttons, and that's it. Until next time, we are signing off. Peace.